Hello everyone, it's just me today. Betsy's over here, but I'm the only one that's gonna be in this video. Reason being, this is my coming out story, and honestly, just whatever, I'm just gonna get right into it. And I'm gonna give you guys a little backstory on my thinking, what I went through, and maybe someone else feels this way. And if you do, I just want to let you know that it's okay to feel the way you're feeling. It's okay if you feel like you have to find yourself before you even accept who you are, because that's how I felt. It's okay to feel scared, but it's also okay to be selfish and take that weight off your shoulders. So my freshman year, I did a lot of, even after 8th grade, like, I don't know, I just had these feelings that I felt attracted, or I felt a certain type of way towards girls or women, whatever, and I just didn't want to focus on them. My family is very Catholic. My mom is very Catholic. My oldest sister is very Catholic. I had a feeling I know who I was, but I just didn't want to accept it. I was denying it. And so I guess me going out with these guys kind of like solidified it for me in a way, and which, I mean, it's fine, nothing happened, and if that's a process that you have to go through, then definitely go for it. My anxiety and my depression made it so hard for me to go to school. I would literally go to school for one period and go home. I would call my mom crying and tell her, "Mom, please come pick me up. I'm going crazy. Please, I cannot stay here. I have so much anxiety." And this is just me researching, like, this is why I'm feeling, why am I feeling this way? And a lot of things that kept coming up was depression, anxiety, and those things are just, if you have one, you're most likely have the other. I went to the doctor, and my doctor at the time wanted me to go to a psychologist. Obviously, we did not have money for me to go to a psychologist, so my mom became my psychologist. Like, literally, as crazy as that sounds, she became my psychologist. I remember, like, crying to my mom and telling her, and crying to her and telling her, like, "Please, Mom, just do something. I just don't want to live anymore. I just want to die. Like, just please help me. I don't want to feel this way anymore." And I remember specifically this one time I was just crying my eyes out, and I mean, I've never even asked her till this day. I've never brought that up, but I could only imagine that pain that she felt whenever I told her that, like, your kid is basically telling you, "I want to die, I want to kill myself. Just please help me kill myself, because I don't want to feel the way I do anymore." And my mom really helped me a lot. Like, she helped me out those times. She was my rock, and she still is, you know. She's awesome. She's amazing. I met Betsy in late October, November-ish of junior year 2014, and no, 2013. And yeah, like, I don't know, I just instantly liked her. I liked who she was. I liked how she dressed. I liked how she presented herself. I love who she was as, like, a student. Like, she's very dedicated, and she's very quiet and shy and cute. And yeah, so we started being, I started it, but we're both very flirty with each other, and we're flirty type people, and we started flirting and texting back and forth. And then I had a little too much fun one night, and I accidentally texted her that I liked her in this really long message. It's so embarrassing. I don't really remember it. I just remember, like, waking up the next day, and I, like, looked through my messages, and I was like, what the fuck did I just do? I just ruined everything. Like, if I ever had a chance to go out with her, I just fucking blew it away, because that was really fucking stupid of me. So Betsy and I mean, I guess it worked, because we started going out February 13th. That's when we had, like, our first kiss, and it was awesome. But then shortly after, unfortunately her mom found out that we were going out. She's not very fond of Betsy being gay or her going out with a woman, or she's not very fond of me. And I remember a specific text that Betsy sent me, and she was like, my mom found out and she says that she's gonna tell your mom. And that literally like made me panic. It made me panic so hard because I didn't know, like, I hadn't told my mom anything. Like, at this point in my mind and in my mom's mind, I'm 100% straight. And I just, because I had brought guys over, so I figured that she thought that I was straight. And one of my best friends at the time, he was a man. I mean, he was a guy. He was a boy. So I just figured that she like didn't see it coming. So I was panicking. I was like, holy fuck, like she's gonna know. Oh my god, I started panicking. I was also panicking that I felt Betsy wasn't safe at her house, and it was just a lot of drama, and I'm pretty sure she's gonna touch on it when she comes out. But anywho, I hadn't told her anything until that point. Fast forward to June 2015, which was a year later. And the funny thing is, I remember it because Caitlyn Jenner, that's around the time she was transitioning into a woman, and that's how it came up to my mind. My mom and I were driving around and we were listening to the radio, and they started talking about Caitlyn Jenner, and I told my mom something about like, oh well, people should be who they want to be, right? And my mom was like, see, my mom was like, yeah, people need to accept who they are, and you know, why does it matter if people are trans or gay or lesbian or anything like that? People should be happy for who they are, and accept other people should accept them because it's not their life. So I started thinking about coming out, and I was very nervous. And so we got home, and I told my mom, hey, can we please talk in the restroom? And the restroom at my mom's house was like mine and my mom's like confession room, because whenever she had to tell me something or whenever she wanted to talk privately with me, she'd be like, let's go to the restroom. And we would basically go to the restroom and stand in the restroom and talk. Or whenever she wanted me to like help her dye her hair or anything, we would go in the restroom, and that's when we would have like our girl talk type thing. So I told her, let's talk in the restroom, and she was cooking, right? I was in the living room, and I could just feel my heart pumping out of my chest. I could just feel the nervousness take over my body. I couldn't breathe. I was short of breath. I was thinking, I was overthinking, I was nervous to say the least, you know. And so finally my mom was like, so you wanted to talk, let's go in the restroom. And I was kind of like, yeah, I wanted to talk, but you know, we can save it for another day. She's like, no, if you have to tell me something, just tell me now. And so we go in the restroom, and for the first like 5 minutes I just kind of look at her, and she's like, what's wrong? Like, you know me, how you could tell me anything. What's wrong? Like, what's up? Do you need something? Are you feeling okay? Because I was still somewhat anxious, so I think she thought that I was going to tell her something about my anxiety, about me being depressed. And I just like apologized. For the first 10 minutes, I just remember crying and apologizing, and I was just like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And she probably thought that I like murdered someone or something, because I kept apologizing. I was just like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And she told me, you know, you can tell me anything, right? I know, but I don't want to disappoint you. She said, you know, you can tell me anything. And I told her, I just don't want to disappoint you. I know how hard you've worked to make me the woman that I am today, and I know how hard you've worked to succeed in life, and I just don't want to disappoint you. I don't want to disappoint you or let you down, because I know there's a lot riding on my shoulders, and I'm sorry if this does disappoint you, and I understand if you're mad at me, and I understand, like, I understand if you like don't love me anymore. And I just said, I don't like boys. I'm sorry. I'm gay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I like girls. I'm sorry. And it was just silence. And I was crying. And she just, like, she gave me a hug. And she gave me a hug. And I just remember crying. And I remember, like, telling her, I just kept saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And she just told me that she loved me, and the fact that I was alive till this day surprised her, because when I was little I was very sick and the doctors didn't even think I was gonna make it alive from a child, and me being adopted and me not being her real daughter, but she still loved me unconditionally, and that I shouldn't be scared, or I shouldn't apologize for who I am, that I should be proud of who I am, and that if that's something that I missed from her, being a single mother and raising kids on her own, that you should own up to who you are. And after that, I feel so free. I felt so, I don't know, I just felt so much more happier. I felt like I could be myself at school. And I didn't tell her that Betty and I were going out, and Betty and I were like super low-key at that point. So basically I was living with my mom. Betty would come over here and there, and Betty and I were planning to move out, and I didn't want to talk to my mom about it because I knew she'd be really against it. My sister had abruptly moved out like a year before, and I don't know, I was just so pressured. And I spoke to my mom about me moving out, and she would always cry and be like, fine, you don't love me. And I don't know, my mom just like holds grudges and stuff, and the last thing I want to do is be on her bad side. So I basically like packed up all my shit, and we already had the apartment. I had moved all my stuff there basically, except the bed, but I wasn't going to take the bed. I moved all my clothes, and I called her one day. I think she's supposed to be out at 5, and it was already 5:30, I think even 6. And I had called her and I was like, hey, are you coming home already, because I need to talk to you? And she was like, what's wrong? And I was like, oh, nothing, I just want to talk. And so she got home, and I was like, can you please sit down, I need to talk to you. And she's like, what's up? And I was like, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I'm moving out, and I know I have already spoke to you about it, but I knew you wouldn't be okay with it, so I kind of already done it. And I'm sorry, you know. She was like, why would you do this to me? She felt so betrayed, and I see why, because I wasn't open with her, but at the same time I couldn't be open with her because I knew she would not be okay with it. And she was like, who are you moving out with? And I was like, myself. And she's like, don't lie to me, you've already lied to me all this time, tell me the truth. And I was like, I'm moving with Betty. She's like, is she your girlfriend? And I was like, yes. And she's like, why didn't you tell me? And all I could say was, I'm sorry, I'm sorry that I didn't tell you, but I didn't feel comfortable. Like, I really did not. Me coming out already was a huge thing out of my comfort zone. And my mom was crying, I was crying. She was like, you know what, that's fine, if you want to leave then leave, but you know that this is your house, and I can't believe that you would do this to me. And then I don't know why, but I left my laptop in my mom's car. And then after us arguing, like kind of going back and forth and like bickering, I was like, okay, fine, like I'm leaving, I'm gonna be back, I'm just letting you know. She's like, no, you don't come back because I'm mad at you, and la la la. So we were arguing, and then at the end of the argument I was like, can I please have the keys to your car because I need to get my laptop? And then she's like, okay. I remember that. She's like, okay. And then she like walks outside, and she's like not even looking at me, and she opens the door. She's like, ten, tu pinche computadora. She's like, here, your fucking computer. I don't know what she said. And I was like, I'm sorry, Mom, I'm sorry you're upset, I love you. And she's like, and she just literally like gave me the look, and she just walked away. And then I don't know what she said, oh, she's like, oh, are you gonna give me the key to the house too? Because I need the remote. Like, you need a remote to get in my mom's house to the gate, and then you need a key before you even get to the door. So then at this point I didn't know what was wrong with Betty, and literally we like told our parents right at the same time. So when I left, I texted Betty and I was like, hey, how are you? Like, how did it go? And she was like, horrible. My mom is super upset. She's major upset. I'm crying. I can't stop crying. We ended up meeting up at a Sonic that was like in between, kind of close to my mom's house, and it was kind of a drive from her mom's house, but somewhere in the middle. And I remember getting out and I remember hugging, and I don't know how long we were there, but I was just kind of like, it's done. It's done. We can't do anything. It's done. And let's go to our home. Like, we're going to start this together. This is our home. And we got this. Like, whatever's going to happen, we got this. So sure enough, we went to our apartment and we started unloading all of our crap. And I remember going to sleep late. And at that time, I worked at a grocery store, and I was one of the cake decorators there, and we had to be there super early, like 6 in the morning. Like I said, if you ever feel like you're trapped, if you feel like you can't find yourself, you can't figure yourself out, it might be because you just need to come out. You need to let it out. You need to be free. You need to let yourself free, to be a little selfish. It's okay to be selfish. It's okay to let people know who you are, and always be proud of who you are, no matter what it is. If you're trans, if you're lesbian, if you're gay, it's okay to be yourself, and always be proud of who you are, and always be proud of how far you've come, and be confident in where you're going. So that is my coming out story and how we moved out. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe there or there, and let me know what you guys think of my coming out story. I'm sorry I got a little emotional. It's a very touchy subject. Not really. Anywho, I will see y'all next time. Next time you'll see me. I don't know. But be ready for Betty's coming out video because it's crazy. Bye.